Right, good morning everyone. We are going to be making a headband, a very nice little headband. This is an easy DIY job, and it can be for yourself, it can be for a gift, or you can sell them. So what you will need is some fabric. Now you'll need a light to medium weight woven fabric. Stretch isn't going to work really for this headband, although it will work for others, and I might show another version. Now you don't need a lot of fabric, and what I'm going to be using actually here is a fat quarter of polka dot cotton. And the other thing you'll need is a headband. Now it can be plastic or metal, whatever you like. You might have one in the cupboard like this, or you can easily purchase just a headband to use for this to cover. Right, now what the first thing you'll need to do is measure the circumference of your headband. So let's just put the tape round. And this one measures 15 inches. Now I need some extra at the end, so I'm going to cut my fabric to 16.5 inches to give me some leeway. Now what I need to do is cut across the fabric, across the bias. Let me check I have enough fabric. Yes, I do, easily. And I'm going to cut it across. So what I'm going to do is, what I need to do is cut across the bias on my fabric. So I'm just going to use this ruler to draw a line down across the bias. And I want my fabric to be about 5 inches wide, or about 12 centimeters. So again, I'm going to draw another line there, mark it again, 12 centimeters, 12 centimeters, and again draw another line down by my marks. So this is going to be the main section for our headband, so I'm going to cut that out. I'm going to cut a straight edge here. It's handy when you've got polka dots, you can see where your straight line is. And again, just measure it along. So 16.5 inches is there. So then we have the main section of our headband. Now I'm going to use there's our main piece, and I'm going to use one of the offcuts for the bow. Now it doesn't have to be cut on the bias, but it depends how much material you've got for this. So anyway, I want a bow, so I'm going to fold this piece of fabric over, and it's going to be about 4 inches the fold. Okay, 4 inches folded over. I'm going to cut that end off there, and I'm going to cut along there. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold that over. So I've got 4 pieces of fabric folded over. So it's folded there, and then I'm going to fold it again in half this way. Now, what I want to do is cut my bow shape. So what we need to do is make the centre very long because we need a lot of fabric to tie the knot. And then we want a bow shape. So I'm going to do a rough bow like that. And I'm going to cut all those pieces of fabric together, which is going to be quite tricky. Oh, I haven't caught that one. So in effect, we've got two pieces that look like that. Now we're going to sew these together. Now what we do first is fold this in half, and we need a gap to put, oh, I've dropped my chalk. Oh, there it is. We need a gap to thread our headband in. So I'm going to leave a gap in the middle of about 3 inches, and I'm going to sew along there and along there. So just those two seams. So I'm going to do that now. Right, so I've sewed my seam along that side and along that side, and I've got my gap in the middle. Check that you've caught the fabric both sides. Right, what I need to do now is flatten this out so that my seam is now in the middle on the top, like so. Like that. And what I'm going to do is now seal my ends, and I'm going to curve my seam round so that I've got a nice shape over the ears at either end of the headband. So just a curve going round. Okay, so I'm going to sew those now. So what I've done is I've sewn my curve here. I'm going to trim that seam and trim on the other side as well. And now I'm going to turn it round the right way. Now the nice thing about these headbands is you can use up, a lot of the time you can use up scraps of fabric, things that you've got left over, and if you're making an outfit, you might have a scrap that you can make a matching headband. Now although I'm doing a bow, you can do other things with the decoration, which I shall show you a little bit further on. So let's get this turned around the right way. Right, now we've got it like that, we're going to just give it a press with the iron, and then we're going to join these two. So you put these two right sides together, and again we need a gap for turning, so I'm going to leave a gap near the middle, a couple of inches wide, and I'm then going to sew these two pieces together all the way around the edge, leaving the gap. Right, so I've sewn all the way around my sort of bow shape. Not the best bow shape I've ever cut, but there we are. Now you trim the seams, and we've got to turn this bow in the right way. Right, so there we have our bow. Turn that very well. There we are. Right, now we need to put our headband in. Now how you do this is you put it into the headband like this, and you force that side in there and that side in there. And then once you've got it in, you swivel it around so that that open seam is at the bottom. Now what you'll want to do when you're doing this is catch stitch that open seam together. So there's the actual headband, and this is where you add your bow. Now the nice thing about these bows is because they're just tied, you can put them in the middle, you can put them at the side, you can put 2 or 3, you can make a couple to make it a double bow. This is quite stiff fabric because it's not been washed. Oh, there's a bit of cotton there. So there's our bow, there's our headband. And because these are tied, you can lay something in the bow, which I'll show you in the next picture, tie the bow on, and then you've got a little bit of added extra decoration. You could pop a holly leaf in there if it's for Christmas. You could put some sparkly ribbon in, and you just tie the bow around it. And because the bow is tight, it will keep whatever you lay there in place. I hope you enjoy. Very quick to make and very effective. Thanks ever so much, folks. Speak to you soon.